So basically, we're just gonna. Today, I don't really want to go into like breaking down some poems, but we're gonna read some of the top most influential poems that I think are really deep and they sound nice. You feel me? So it's like this is just poetry with chance. You feel me? Like we're just listening to type shit. So one of the top poems that like I don't know, it wasn't necessarily a ranking. They were just like some of the most influential poems ever, to be completely honest. This one is by Dylan Thomas. It's called "Do Not Go Gentle Into That Good Night." Just, I feel like certain titles, when you can tell they're meant to be some deep shit, you just keep in the back of your head and then you see why it was titled that. Do not go gentle into that good night by Dylan Thomas. Do not go gentle into that good night. Old age should burn and rave at close of day. Rage, rage against the dying of the light. The wise men at their end know dark is right, because their words have forked no lighting. They do not go gentle into that good night. Good men, the last wave by, crying how bright their frail deeds might have danced in a green bay. Rage, rage against the dying of the light. Wild men who caught and sang in the sun of flight, and learned too late they grieved it on its way. Do not go gentle into that good night. Grave men, near death, who see with blinding sight, blonde eyes could blaze like meteors and could be gay. Rage, rage against the dying of light. And you, my father, there on the side of height, curse, bless me now with your fierce tears, I pray. Do not go gentle into that good night. Rage, rage against the dying of light. I fuck with this. I feel like some poems that I really like are at times like the ones where there's so much in it, but the message is very clear and it's like clear through like repetition. So it's like rage, rage against the dying of light. It's always like, for me, when it comes to that, it's kind of like telling you should be mad when things are ending, when it's like things that are great. Like don't go so easy into it. Don't allow things to just end. Enjoy it as much as you can and shit like that. So it's like, I fuck with that. And it was also talking about like getting a different perspective on things and stuff. I fuck with it because I feel like he always started like, though wise men do this, towards the end they know this. It's kind of like a process where it's kind of like you're shifting the mindsets. You know, it's kind of like in the beginning of something you knew one thing, but towards the end of it you see something completely differently, and the meaning is in between, which is why you shouldn't be so ready to go towards the end of things. I'm telling you, I didn't read this, so yeah. If y'all have a different interpretation of it, that makes it even better. All right, this is a poem that a lot of people probably have already heard, and if you didn't hear it, I'm not sure what high school, middle school you went through, but Dreams by Langston Hughes. I went to high school that had predominantly black people, so that might have something to do with it. If you haven't heard it, don't feel bad. But yeah, I really like this poem. So Dreams by Langston Hughes. Hold fast to dreams, for if dreams die, life is a broken winged bird that cannot fly. Hold fast to dreams, for when dreams go, life is a barren field, frozen with snow. And this poem was kind of like short but very precise. Like, you know exactly what it means if you read it. Well, if you're somebody that picks up on these type of things a lot. But for me, I think it was like, there's really only one meaning that I can like pick out of this without trying to sound deep and fake certain shit. It's kind of like, unless you have dreams in your life, it becomes pointless. Like, you're put here to find your purpose, and your dreams is a way you can experience that. That's a way to chase it. That's a way to, how do I say this? That's a way to act upon your purpose. That's how you explore it, by chasing your dreams. That's what you're meant to do. So that's why it's kind of like life is a barren field, frozen with snow. Those two things aren't lined up. That's not how it's supposed to be. Life is a broken winged bird that cannot fly. If a bird can't fly, what's his purpose? There's not really much that he can do. There's not really much that he can experience. So the one thing you're supposed to be really great at, you're not doing it. And your dreams is that thing. So that's why I really fuck with this poem. All right, and we're going to go into one more poem that's just going to be inspirational, and then we're just going to leave it at that type shit. Okay, so the last poem we're going to look at is It's a poem by Maya Angelou. And y'all know the last time I did a poem by her, how hyped I got. Okay, so Life Doesn't Frighten Me by Maya Angelou. Shadows on the wall. Noises down the hall. Life doesn't frighten me at all. Bad dogs barking loud. Big ghosts in a cloud. Life doesn't frighten me at all. Mean old mother goose. Lions on the loose. They don't frighten me at all. Dragons breathing flame on my counterpane. That doesn't frighten me at all. I go boo, make them shoot. I make fun the way they run. I won't cry, so they fly. I just smile. They go wild. Life doesn't frighten me at all. Though tough guys fight all alone at night, life doesn't frighten me at all. Panthers in the park, strangers in the dark. No, they don't frighten me at all. That new classroom where boys pull my hair, kiss little girls with their hair in curls. They don't frighten me at all. Don't show me frogs and snakes and listen for my scream. If I'm afraid at all, it's only in my dreams. I've got a magic charm that I keep up in my sleeve. I can walk the ocean floor and never have to breathe. Life doesn't frighten me at all. Not at all. Not at all. Life doesn't frighten me. What do I gotta say? She be talking her shit. Like, I'm not gonna lie to you. There's certain people, it's just like, the way they wrote certain things is just like, how do you have that confidence? Like, I want to be able to sit in front of those type of people and just have a conversation with them. It's just like that's what I've always taught about. It's like, if you had the, like, if it was possible. That's what I'm saying, where it's like this new thing that they're working on, like this is literally has nothing to do with poetry, but y'all gonna listen to it. I mean, y'all don't have to because y'all can click off, but shit. For me, it's like one thing that I thought was always interesting is like when people ask you the questions like, what like historical figure would you want to speak to, have a conversation with, sit down next to and stuff. And what people are talking about, when it comes to like Elon Musk, like the next level stuff they're talking about, like when it comes to like AI and stuff, like being able to download. You're able to download your subconscious pretty much. Like you're like pretty much they can get your brain to stay alive. It's just not your body, but it's you. Like it's just you. Like it still processes the same way as you. So when it gets to a certain point, it's like even if that person can't live on or they just find a way for them to just process, for their mind to just be able to work. Like the idea that you'll be able to speak to a historical figure. I think in terms of like character development, people elevating and shit like that, when that does become a thing, I'm not saying I'm for it because the idea of keeping somebody past when they're supposed to live for, I feel like that's playing with life itself. So that's a lot. But I think if that shit does work, that would be really dope. And Maya Angelou would be one of those people where it's like, if I could get a chance to speak to her, I'll probably be a poet. Like the fact that I get to talk to her and get some of her, you know, those mental nuggets, that'd be the best poet of the century. What, with her? Stop it. But yeah, I actually love Maya Angelou. I want to thank y'all for tuning in to a Poetry with Chance. But yeah, have a great weekend. Have a great week. Whenever y'all hear this, just make sure you're thriving and you're smiling. All right.